It's Friday, July 18th, 2025. Thanks for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please make sure to subscribe. Share all my videos on your social media, and please give this video a like. I think it's safe to say that it is official. I am moving. I am leaving the state of California. Looks like most of the inspections are completed now, and everything is satisfactory. A few minor repairs have to be done to the home, but we're going to take care of that. There's one last inspection that will be done, I believe, on Monday, and that's termite. So as of right now, the septic, the home inspection, we have the termite to do, the well, all that stuff is satisfactory. Everything looks pretty good. So nothing catastrophic. So I think it's safe to say that I will be moving and leaving the state of California. It took a little while. Now the fun begins with the logistics. I have to go back in August. We're going to be picking up Aaron, and we're going to be grading the road and working on the road, which is the driveway to the house, which is about 3/4 of a mile. So when you get off the main road to the house, it has a private road, private driveway, whatever you want to call, about 3/4 of a mile. And there were some rough spots that had to be addressed, nothing major. So Aaron, just a fantastic guy, great friend, one of my best friends, period. Going to spend a few days out there in Alabama. I think Enrique's going to be coming with too. He's going to try to make the trip. And we're going to go out there, grade the road, fill in the low spots, take care of that. I've got some things with the house that I'll be taking care of too. So we're going to get some painters out there and get some quotes on that. And just take care of a few things while we're out there. I think we'll probably spend about 5, 6, 7 days out there working on the road and the house. So it should be pretty interesting. So it's going to be, no doubt, a real job now to move from here, moving over 2,000 miles. As most of you know, I bought a dog too in Texas, which I'm going to have to pick up in September. And that's the date where I plan on getting out there. It's probably going to be about mid-September when the move will take place. So, you know, vehicles have to be moved, animals have to be moved, Nugget has to be moved. So there's a lot going on with the logistics. It's not cheap. It's time consuming. So just a lot going on, and I'm excited, yet I'm not looking forward to more driving. It does get overwhelming and tiresome, but you know, I really do believe in my heart that for me, for my family, it's time to bounce out of California and get out of here, because this state is just heading in such a negative direction, which it has been doing for many, many years. They have destroyed arguably the most beautiful state in America. And unfortunately, I'm not going to stick around to watch the rest of the destruction. As I've said many times, I'll watch the destruction on my big screen in Alabama, not my front window here in Palm Desert, California. So, you know, a lot of people are probably having this same conversation, the one that I had a few years ago about moving, and many people now are probably having the same conversation with their families right now over the dinner table, in the family room, whatever, talking about getting out of this state before it's too late. Gas prices will continue to go up. Taxes will continue to go up. The quality of life in California will continue to go down. They're going to make it much, much more difficult for the middle class here in California. Crime is out of control. The state is broke. Their political beliefs are idiotic. And there's just so much bureaucracy. You need a permit, a license for everything. You know, if you modify a car here in California, it's no longer a fix-it ticket. They'll state ref you. State referee. So you have got to take your car to see a state referee, and this can be very, very costly. So they're going after and trying to squeeze every penny out of people. You get a speeding ticket in California, it's easily $400 or $500. To register a car here, outrageous. And just your freedom here in California is so limited. They've taken so much freedom away from the people of California, and the cost of living is absolutely outrageous. So many people will say, well, not many, but a few people say, I'll be back in 6 months. That won't happen. That will not happen. The cost of living in a place like Alabama is so much less. It's a beautiful state, beautiful people, Southern hospitality, no doubt. But the cost of living is a big deal, a very, very big deal. And I know a lot of people, you may not be looking at Alabama, you may be looking at another state. But I highly advise that you give it some thought, because if you don't like what's going on, if they are squeezing everything out of you, every dime out of you, you've got to make changes. You've got to get out. A lot of people will say, well, I can't because I have family here. Well, if your family's dumb enough to stick around, then that's on them. But that's like, that's almost like saying that we're on the Titanic, but I'm not going to get off on a lifeboat because my family's going to stay on the ship while it sinks. That makes no sense whatsoever. Especially if you have kids, you have to be looking out for your kids and their future. Do you want them growing up in a state like California, in a school system like California, or a state where they have so much control over your kids? Something to think about. But I don't think I'm going to regret it. In fact, I think I'm going to embrace it. Many, many people, I would say about 98% of people in the comments really reinforced my move, supported it. A lot of people welcomed me to Alabama. I think the biggest regret would be moving back to California. I've been sick of this state for years. It's so expensive, and you don't get what you're paying for. When you get taxed in this state, when you pay for something in this state, when you put a gallon of gas in your car in this state, you don't feel like you're getting your money's worth. You feel like you're getting robbed, shooken down, a shakedown, a big, giant shakedown here in California. And I'm finished with it. And, I know people out there would say it would never happen. I would never do it. I was just talking about it. I mean, that makes no sense whatsoever. I wanted to make sure financially I was set, that I could pay for all of this. I advise that if you're thinking about leaving the state and moving 2,000 miles, you really do your due diligence. This is something that, I really, really thought about for 3 years. And when we went out there, Enrique and Aaron, myself, last year, I penciled it, down to a few counties that I really liked, and went back and just looked at them, looked at some properties, and just wanted to confirm this is where I wanted to be. These were the counties I liked. And after we went back and made that confirmation, then I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm going ahead with this. We're bouncing out of California. We're coming to Alabama. And I'm not saying that Alabama's perfect. It has issues. There's no doubt about it. There's poverty in the South. But there's also opportunity. There's also much lower cost of living, gas prices. I mean, I go to a Chevron in Alabama for $2.50 for a Chevron. Here, the same gas is $4.50 or $4.75. Chevron's very expensive, but for some reason in Alabama, it's not. Because in Texas or in California, the tax that they pay here, you pay $4.75 for a gallon of regular at Chevron. So there's just so much corruption here in California. The tent cities, the homelessness, the cost of living, the traffic in California too, ridiculous. I can't even go to the beach anymore. It's when we film in LA, we don't even get back till nighttime, and it's starting to happen here. We're seeing so much multifamily being built out here in the desert. It's going to bring more and more people to the desert. The Disneyland development is going to bring in thousands of people. And the desert, unfortunately, to me, they've really ruined. And some people may disagree with that, but there's so many casinos here. There's so many sporting events here. There's so many music events here. They're trying to turn this into a mini Las Vegas or a mini Los Angeles. And now you have more and more people living here year round. And it's just not the same as it was 15, 20 years ago. Just not the same. Certainly not the same place it was back in the 70s and 80s. It's just inundated with people, with traffic, and with more people and more traffic comes more crime, more garbage, more graffiti, more homeless. And to me, it's long overdue, time to get out. But I think we're getting out before things really, really get bad for the state of California and the country. And that's another thing you have to think about is if things get bad, not if, but when they do in the United States, as we continue to watch big problems unfold and the economy continue to crack, where do you want to be? Do you want to be in a state like California? Do you want to be in a city like Los Angeles? Do you want to be in a city like New York or Chicago? Look at New York, what's going on in New York. If you're in New York, I mean, this guy has a real chance of winning. It's going to be much more difficult to sell and get out when he wins versus right now. And it's probably going to be very difficult now because they are saying this guy could win. So think about if you have a $15 million penthouse in Manhattan, is it going to be more difficult to sell now with what's coming to New York? Probably. And so many people have already left cities like New York and Chicago. But now things are about to get even worse. So anyways, I just wanted to get everybody caught up with this because I know a lot of people were watching my videos a couple weeks ago when we were traveling. We will be traveling, Aaron, myself, and Enrique, probably around mid-August. So we'll have some really good videos coming. I believe we're going to try to meet up with Bill Holter, maybe a couple other people. Got some really good videos planned. And of course, when I get to Alabama permanently, I will continue doing videos on the economy, but I think a lot of people would be very interested, as they've mentioned, about just the lifestyle, the farmers, the animals, the pond. I have a 6-acre pond, and just the culture shock and just the shock of the move and just a completely new state. I'm going to film all of it, the animals, the fish, the chickens, the guineas, the dogs, the farmers, the cattle, all of it. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting, especially for people who are thinking about moving. And I'm not saying you have to go buy a ranch or a farm, but there is definitely going to be, no doubt, a shock living in a new area. So I think that'll be interesting. I will film it. So I'll probably break it down onto another channel. I'll let everybody know about that. But I'll continue doing the economic channel. I'm going to be doing the channel about living in the South, living in a much more remote area, the positives and the negatives. Look, I know that not everything's going to be hunky-dory. And now I know that not everything's going to be positive. There's going to be negatives. So nothing's perfect. But staying in a state like California is a death sentence. It's done. And I don't want to be in any state like California when the lights go out or when things really get bad. And I hope they don't get as bad as I think they're going to do. And if that doesn't happen, wonderful. I'm breathing cleaner air. I'm eating better food. I'm around better people. And to me, I'm saving a lot of money. And to me, it's just better for my health. So stay tuned to all that. So we'll be back out around mid-August, and then September looks like the permanent date, and there'll be a lot to film there. So you're going to see a lot of content coming from the property. Warren Buffett has set alarm bells ringing on Wall Street. This from the Telegraph today. The veteran investor's decision to ditch billions of dollars in banking stocks could be a canary in the coal mine. What do you all think about that? Remember, he pulled out about $3.2 billion in the beginning of this year in bank stocks and other financial company stocks. What does this mean? Bank stocks are booming right now. We keep hearing how great the banks are doing, but not everyone is convinced that the good times will last. Let me ask all of you, are the good times going to last? These are still the good times. We have the stock market at all-time highs. The banks are doing wonderful. What's the problem? What's the problem? But when you talk to the average person on the street, they're struggling. Somebody wrote me yesterday calling me an idiot because the stock market's up, and so that means the economy's booming. Look at the stock market, JB. You're an idiot. Things are booming. The stock market's booming, maybe for the top 10%, but what about everybody else? I ask people all the time, the stock market's at all-time highs. Is your life at all-time highs? Are your finances at all-time highs? People are worried if they're going to have a job tomorrow. They're paycheck to paycheck. People are using credit cards to pay for essentials. We talk about this daily, yet I'm told everything's okay because the stock market's up. Renter Nation returns. Surge in multifamily unit starts and permits saves U.S. housing market. So this is what we're seeing a lot of here in the desert, a ton of this in Texas. We'll probably film a little bit of this when we're back out there. Multifamily starts are up 30% month over month. Ask yourself, will lower Fed fund rates do anything to lower mortgage rates? Mr. Trump needs to be very careful what he wishes for. Be very, very careful. Here's another one today from The Hedge. It will take more than low interest rates to make houses affordable. Lower mortgage rates won't make home ownership more affordable, ladies and gentlemen. It might make the payment more affordable, but the price of the home is going to go up. The easy money is just going to fuel more inflation. So think about, and this is a possibility, if they slam rates, they get mortgage rates to go down. But mortgage rates could do the opposite. But let's just say they get the Fed funds rate down and they can get the mortgage rates down. You're going to get higher home prices possibly. Higher home prices mean higher taxes, higher down payment. So this could be even more costly to the U.S. home buyer. But that's not even guaranteed, because we could see mortgage rates even go up. Even if we get the Fed funds rate to go down, we could see mortgage rates go up. So nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. But be careful what you wish for. House clears $9 billion Doge spending cut package. Get ready for a signature. Spending cuts for foreign aid and public broadcasting. So this, I think, is great, that we're going to get this $9 billion spending cut. But remember, this is just a drop in the swimming pool. We're $37+ trillion in debt. But this is a step in the right direction, and we need to be seeing and doing more of this. Do we really need to be funding electric buses in Rwanda? This is where some of this $9 billion is going. Do we want taxpayers to be funding NPR and PBS? Should we be paying for sex changes in Guatemala? Etc., etc., etc. This is total BS, and we, the taxpayer, have been funding this. So I think this is great news. I wish the number was $90 billion, not $9 billion, but it's a step in the right direction, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due. It's great news. A really sad story here. Some of you may have heard this, especially if you're out here in Southern California. 3 deputies lost their life in an explosion at Los Angeles County Sheriff's Training Facility. This in East Los Angeles this morning. Explosion took place around 7:30 a.m. No word on what caused the explosion. I want to ask all of you this. Is there something nefarious to this? This is weird. An explosion at a sheriff's training facility in East Los Angeles, and nobody knows what caused it? Comment down below, and comment down below on any of this stuff. The Hedge today. Here's some interesting news. Many of you may say this is very good news. Stephen Colbert's Late Show canceled by CBS. I never watched a show once in my life. The guy I find extremely boring and irritating, but it's another example. You go woke, you go broke. The show has been bleeding money. I've seen some excerpts of the show on different channels. I'm never curious to watch this guy. The show seemed like nothing but a political hit job. And so, you know, I think people want to be entertained a little bit. They don't want everything to be about politics. And this guy just every night was so political. I heard that the show lost $40 million last season. So people are voting with their time. They're voting with their remote controls, and they voted this guy out. And if you're losing money, like $40 million a season, you're just not gonna last. They're paying this guy $20 million a year. This guy just didn't do it. I mean, it just wasn't funny. And it was nothing but an agenda, a political agenda. And, you know, if you're going to be political, at least be fair. You know, I mean, both sides can laugh, but this guy was one-sided. Go woke, go broke, and now they're done. And I think that they end next on the 2026 next year. So I don't know, they got 10 more months or whatever it is. But anyways, I won't be tuning in. They're going to continue to lose money. And it's another example of people voting with their time, voting with the remote controls. We need to be voting with our pocketbooks. Again, I don't support these big sport team organizations because they really have slapped people in the face. I see what they support. I see how weak they are. I see, what they did to the American people over the past couple years. And I will never support baseball, football, basketball, because a couple years ago we saw what they supported. And we saw how they slapped the American people who pay $100 for a ticket. We saw what their beliefs were. And yet people are dumb enough to keep supporting them, going to their baseball games. And these organizations sold out the American people a long time ago. I will never give them my time. I will never give them my money. That's me. I don't hold that against anybody who wants to go to a baseball or football game. But it is time for the American people to vote with their time and their money, because if we don't stand up for this stuff, they're going to keep shoving this stuff down our throat. I'm going to leave it there today. Comment down below. Love to know your thoughts on anything. Thanks for all the support with the move. It's going to be a real job now. Not looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it, but I'm not. But we're talking over 2,000 miles and moving animals and people. It's not easy. But anyways, keep me in your prayers. Appreciate it. God bless every one of you. Be walking close to God. Be safe out there. Be careful. Take care.